Hi guys, welcome back to GarageTech with me, Darren. This is episode 2 on replacing your spark plugs. So hopefully you've watched episode 1 where we took out the wheel arch liner. If you haven't, go back and check it out. So for this part then, we're just looking at removing and replacing then the heat shield that sits in front of the coil packs. To do that, there is a socket that you need, which is a E10, which is a Torx socket. So that's what they call a external socket. Now what I would just say is, to make life a little bit easier, I actually found on the offside it was a bit trickier to actually get this socket in place, because your catalytic converter sits right in front of the heat shield and there's not a lot of room in between there. So it might be easier if you've got an E10 spanner to help you kind of get in there to take that bolt out. So it's just one of the things that I'd just recommend. But if you enjoy this one, obviously get on to the next one where I'll show you how to take out the coil packs. Okay, let's get straight into it. We can start to see inside here. So now your cap might be slightly different, so it might look different to mine because my one's different, but your spark plugs will be up underneath here. So they're just up underneath here. So I need to take this cover off here. It's just a heat shield to stop obviously the heat getting to the coil packs. So I now need to just take that off. For that you need I'm just going to get the socket and show you. So for that you need an E10 socket. So it's an E10. So it looks like the star shape, but inverted. It's just an E10. And there's a couple of those that you need to take out. So there's one on the end here, and then there's one at the other end, just about down. Just see up under there, just behind this handbrake cable. There it is. So I'm just going to start with this one on the end first. To get to it, I'm just going to use a long extension coming through the back here. I'm just coming in through the back here and then round to there. Okay. Now these shouldn't be too tight, so it should be relatively quite easy. So it's just the two screws that you need to undo. So it was that one and the other one over here. So it's just up inside there. It's just behind this cable and the back there. I'll move that up out of the way, you can just about see it. Okay, once you've got those two screws, it bolts out, the cover just lifts out. So that's the cover. So it's just a one there and one there. Now, with the cover out the way, you can see the coil packs. So there's 1, 2 and 3 there. So because this is bank number 2, this is cylinder 6, 5 and 4 on the end there. Okay. The bolt that we need to take out on this side is a little bit more awkward because it's just sat behind where the cat is. So depending, I mean, I've got the car graphic downpipes and cat, so it's slightly different. So the standard one, I suspect, is slightly bigger, so you may not be able to see it, but ideally what you probably need to do is get a spanner on there to actually get to it, to get it out. The other ones, it should be pretty straightforward. It's just up over there. So again, you can just use socket to get to that one. But this one is a little bit more tricky. So this one's a little bit more awkward to get to because it's very, very tight in there. So what I've done is I've just got the socket on there, long extension, give it a good whack with a hammer to make sure that the socket is on nice and tight. And then you can try and just get it off. So I said you can just about get in there. The only thing I'd just to note is obviously my cat might be slightly different size to yours. Otherwise, that's the only biggest issue I find when doing these spark plugs. The other one's pretty straightforward. This heat shield's a little bit trickier to get out than the other one, but it does come out. So you see it's just getting stuck here now, so I just need to, don't want to bend this bottom one too much. But there you go. It just does come out. It's just a bit tricky. A bit of patience with it. And there we go. You can see the 3 coil packs there. Okay. The trickiest bit now is getting that cover back in, because that's a little bit awkward. So just bear with me, because I might be covering the camera quite a bit to do this. It was a bit awkward coming out. I'm just going to move a bit forward. So ideally I need to just get in here with two hands really. So just pulling that other cover forward a little bit, the bottom heat shield, just pull it forward a little bit. That should just about give you enough movement then to get that side in. Then you need to do something very similar with the other end. So you can see I've just managed to get the other end in there now. That's it, push it down into place. And you can try and get these 2 bolts in. With that one roughly lined up, I should be able to just about get my hand in there. Just want to avoid the camera and the lights. You can just about see it lined up. So that one's pretty much there. We can just about line up. And the other one, obviously this one was a little bit more tricky because we've got the cat in the way. Just need to lift it up slightly whilst I kind of put it in. So I'm just trying to keep my hands out of the way of the camera. I'm just using that extension to just help lift it up. That's it. Just a case of just nipping those 2 up now. So this one's quite difficult to get onto because of where the cat is. These don't need to be mega tight, just enough to hold it in place. And what I'll do with this one, similar to what I had to do when I took it out, is I'll just give it a little tap with the hammer just to make sure it's in and it's on right. There we go. So this bolt here is a bit tricky to get to. But that's the cover back in place. And then next we can go back and put the cover back on. I'm just going to start with the nut on the end. It's a bit of a 2-hand job this bit because you need to just get it right in place. So excuse me whilst I try and do this and not get into the way too much. Just kind of got that one on the end there in place. And the other one on the end should be pretty straightforward. Just need to screw the other one on the end just a little bit more, just to bring it into position. You can see that one's lined up. Now again, these don't need to be mega tight. They are just literally holding in the heat shield. And I'm sure at some point you're going to want to take them back out again. If you over tighten them now, it just means you're going to struggle later on. You've got to come take them back out again. And they'll just come up through past where the exhaust is with a long extension. And that's it. Okay guys, so that's the heat shields in and out. Thanks for watching that one. We can now move on to episode 3 where we take the coil packs out. Okay, see you there.